Commentary Booth is a show for media lovers by media lovers just like you. If you want to support the show, go to pariomagazine.com.au. Welcome to the Commentary Booth, where, you guessed it, we watch and commentate on the week that was in movies and TV. I'm your host and play-by-play commentator, Jamie Apps, and each week I'm joined by a rotating cast of colour commentators to help you find your next viewing treat. This week I'm joined by a freelance social commentator who lists their favourite movie as American Psycho and favourite TV show as Peaky Blinders. Welcome to the show, Blake Robinson.
Good morning, world. How are we?
Yeah, not too bad. How's life treating you? Not frozen yet?
Well, I'm reporting live today from the lounge because it's just cold again. We had two nice days, and it's gotten itself all cold again. So this is headquarters tonight.
Yeah, like it's nice in the sun if you're out of the breeze, but as soon as you step into the shade or a bit of wind comes up, it's like, oh, yep, that's chilly.
In saying that, we complain about 14 degrees is cold, where it's not really that cold, is it? We're just spoiled.
Yeah, and after coming back from the States in 40 plus degree temperatures in Vegas and insane humidity in Florida, the cold was very unwelcome.
Unwelcome. No, I welcome our cold brothers. I don't mind it.
You and Jackson just love the cold.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are the same like that.
Bloody weirdos.
No, I don't mind it. What's happening? What's new? What's new? What have we missed?
For me, not too much. New Peaky Blinders is out. I need to get around to watching that.
To find out, is it actually on Netflix?
Yes. Season 6 is out. Available. The whole lot.
How have I missed it? Because I've been putting off for so long because it came out a couple months ago on BBC in the UK, and I fought the temptation to find some torrents or whatnot and try to stream it because I was like, nah, I'm gonna wait for Netflix. But that's mad. I'm literally gonna start as soon as we finish this.
Yeah, there you go. Problem solved for the next 6 hours at least.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually probably gonna smash it out. I'm trying to, which comes at a good time because tonight is the season finale of New Kardashians. So
of course you know that.
I've got something to transition into.
Good time.
The new show's been great. The new Kardashian show is great. It's like,
is that the Disney Plus one?
Yeah, yeah, it's on Disney Plus, but Hulu do it. But yeah, it's no longer keeping up with the Kardashians. They changed network and switched up the vibe of the show a bit, and just the Kardashians. It's like they call it a docu-series now, and they like talk to the camera, so it's just not like a reality show. Like, that's pretty cool. It's very interactive.
I guess that's an interesting change.
Yeah, it's cool.
I'm still like slowly catching up on all the stuff I missed while I was away. I'm finally watching Stranger Things and watching the boys, and then at some point I need to get into Peaky Blinders.
I just started season 1, Stranger Things. Never watched it before.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. It was just, it's one of those ones where, I know it's probably good, but
it doesn't seem like the sort of show that would appeal to you.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just things that I have to got a lot of seasons to catch up on and start from the start. It's just too hard basket all the time. Like,
I think it is worth it.
Like Sons of Anarchy, I'd probably love that, but just CBF. Game of Thrones, everyone says how good it is, but just CBF. Breaking Bad is another one. Like, yeah.
Oh, you haven't watched Breaking Bad either?
No, I probably would love it, but CBF, man.
You would froth Breaking Bad and Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, I know. Don't say that, please. I'm trying to avoid watching both, but I will probably end up one day.
Breaking Bad at least has a really great conclusion. Like the entire series is great. Sons of Anarchy starts really strong and then kind of falls off at the end.
Really?
Yeah, so if you're going to watch one, definitely go Breaking Bad, and then that'll make you want to watch Better Call Saul.
Oh, yes. No,
so
Breaking Bad was
you've got about 20 seasons to catch up on there.
It was sort of the first big show, wasn't it?
Of like the modern era. Like, it was the biggest like AMC
That was
show
a-
after Walking Dead, really,
Yeah. Oh yeah, Walking Dead.
because
Yeah,
like
it was
you
like
had
one
all
of
the
the first ones I
HBO
ever
shows,
seen.
like
Yeah.
you had The Sopranos, you had The Wire,
Yeah, yeah,
and then there
yeah.
was kind of nothing. Like there was Lost, there was Prison Break, but they were very
Yeah.
just like
Yeah, as far
network
as this whole
TV, and then you
new,
had Breaking
yeah,
Bad come out. Like, oh, wait a second, network TV
yeah,
can
this
do.
whole streaming era, on
Yeah,
demand era. Yeah,
so
Breaking
yeah,
Bad was sort of the big one.
highly recommend that show.
But yeah, I'm just grinding through Stranger Things now, and keen to get to season 4, which has just come out.
I just started. It's so long. Each episode is over an hour.
Oh, really? Season 4?
Yeah,
I don't think season 1 is.
no, they're about 40
30 to
minutes.
40 minutes.
Yep.
So that helps.
And then this recent season, they're a minimum of an hour. Most of them are like closer to an hour 20. And then there's
But it's actually pretty scary, the new season.
yes, very different to
Really?
the first 3 seasons. Like
Yeah, 'cause
it's
so
like it's connected
very
with the
childish.
characters. Like this new season is connected with the characters, but because it sort of had a bit of a time jump, all the actors are older now, obviously,
Mm.
and it's kind of like a somewhat connected story, but it's also kind of feels kind of like a spin-off. Like this is what happened 10 years later or whatever.
Because they've just grown up so much, and that's.
But
I was actually randomly.
I'm
thinking
enjoying
the
this
other day.
season, but yeah, it definitely feels. It doesn't feel like it's a straight continuation. Like it does feel like it's jumped.
Was it needed this new season? Could it have been something else? Did it have to be season 4 Stranger Things, or like you said, could it have been a Stranger Things to something?
Yeah, like a Stranger Things, and then subtitle whatever,
Yeah.
and make it like a spin-off. Yeah, they probably could
Are
have
they
done
making a
that.
Stranger Things movie? Was there talk of a Stranger Things movie?
No, it's just these episodes are like hour 20, and then there's 2 more episodes to go to finish the season, which are both closer to 2 hours, if not over 2 hours. So they're
That sounds
essentially
kind of
movies
fun,
to
though.
close it.
That's mad. I like that.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I'll see if it concludes well. We'll see.
Yeah, speaking of feature-length movies, though, to finish it, they're Peaky Blinders. I'm curious to see how they end this season 6, because I remember in interviews a couple of years ago, the creators like, yeah, we're going to finish the show as a movie. So it'd be interesting to see how this season 6, if it actually ends in season 6, or if it does get left over for this movie. But I feel like I would have probably already heard about it online by now, if that was the
I
case.
wonder if like they're just going to close out the series as just a season, and then they're going to go back and do the movie, but have that be like the
New
prequel, like the
storyline.
war era of the Peaky Boys.
That's cool. Like when that, yeah, because I remember early on in the show they started showing flashbacks and like from when they were in war together in the trenches and whatnot. That would be cool.
Yeah. And they can go back and show why Tommy has all the PTSD issues.
Yeah, that's a cool take.
That'd be. I feel like that'd be a good thing where
stuck in that now.
That makes it accessible for new people to watch as well, rather than having to have watched 6 seasons before you go in and watch a movie.
Yeah,
so,
I do love a good prequel. It seems to be a bit of a theme these days.
Yes. Speaking of prequels.
Of prequels, we watched one the other night.
Yep. Yeah, so this week we're going to get animated as we head to infinity and beyond with our reviews of Lightyear and Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, the movie, which was a cool little spin.
Obviously, movie I didn't know I needed.
Yes, very much so. So yeah, we'll dive into Lightyear since it is the most recent of the 2. Mm-hmm. Pixar's latest animated feature, which, like we said, acts as a prequel / spin-off of the 1995 classic Toy Story. What did you think of the movie on a top level?
On a top level, on a surface level, I enjoyed it. it was very more in depth as far as storyline goes, and like you said, it is a prequel, which I didn't know, and you find that out in the opening credits, which was like a very cool touch. I don't really want to spoil it, how like when it's set and whatnot, but I thought that was pretty much looks like it felt like they added that on to the end. Like once they're like, oh, we're going to make this movie about Buzz Lightyear, and they're like, probably got.
How do we
like,
officially tie this into the Toy Story universe?
They're like, oh, yeah, I think that's it. And they did it perfectly, did it justice. I was a bit hostile going into it as a lifelong Woody fan. I was like, why does Buzz get his biopic before Woody does? And we did speak about this in past episodes about like, hey, maybe they will tease like a Woody biopic or something in it. But yeah, once you find out what this movie is about, where it is tied into the Toy Story universe, I think it is clear that Woody plays no part in it.
Yeah, so obviously somewhat of a spoiler. They tie this into the Toy Story universe by saying that in 1995, when Andy got his Buzz Lightyear action figure, that toy is from his favorite movie, and Lightyear is that movie.
And this is that movie.
So yeah, it just kind of follows Buzz Lightyear, who's basically a space ranger who gets stuck on this random planet that is essentially just trying to kill them at all times with vines and crazy animals and things. And it's him trying to find a way to make up for his mistake and getting all these people stranded on this planet and trying to find a way to hit hyperspace and get everyone out of there. I enjoyed it, and yeah, because it, like we said, this is the movie that made Andy fall in love with the Buzz Lightyear toy. Yeah, there is no...
made it like feel a lot more wholesome, I thought. That's like, oh, this was Andy's favorite movie, and like, so it's like becomes an actual thing, not like a new thing. And when they said that, so, and like it said it come out in 1995. Well, 1995 is when Andy got the toy. So the whole time I'm thinking, all right, this movie was made in the 90s.
Yep.
So I'm just, everything that's happening, I'm like, oh, this is a 90s depiction of space, the future. Did you see it like that as well? So I sort of like, never once I was like, oh, this is a movie made in 2022. Like I always thought, oh, this is like a 90s like cartoon essentially that's made in this current times.
Yeah, I was sort of trying to frame it that way, but some of the storylines are very 2000s, like very 2020s. Woke. Yes, in particular,
there's been some backlash early on already. Yes,
the same-sex marriage and kiss and parents.
I wasn't expecting that. That was like it was so woke. It didn't really like fit anything, and it really jumped out. Like, oh, hang on a minute, that was a bit full on. Like, you didn't have to do that.
Like, yeah, and like that definitely wouldn't have been in a 1995 movie.
Yeah, no way.
Like they might have implied it, but they definitely wouldn't have shown.
Yeah, that's
two women kissing with kids.
Yeah. I was like, oh my god, geez, that's a bit much for a kids movie. But and in saying that, I've been seeing some backlash. Like the movie's already been banned in like 8 countries because of that same-sex kiss.
Yeah, banned in Egypt, Indonesia, Lebanon, Kuwait, Malaysia, Saudi Arabia, the UAE. China also wanted that scene removed, and it was initially cut. And then after all of the controversy around the Disney CEO basically talking about the parental rights and education bill in Florida, Disney were like, no, screw this, we're going to put it back in. So
yeah,
they added it back in, and yes, and now it's been banned in all of those countries. Like it didn't feel...
That's another thing as well.
It didn't feel like egregious or like over the top. Like it kind of fit in a modern movie, but yeah.
Like, yeah, it was,
if you're trying to frame it as a movie from the early 90s, it doesn't fit.
That's the thing. Like, well, what's this? Like, that's what my point of view is. Like, what are you going to do? Like, this movie meant to be 1995, and like you got stuff like that. Like, take one or the other. And I reckon there was another thing too. it felt like a bit of there was a lot of scenes that were like paid homage to other movies. Like there was a lot of Top Gun vibes in it, I found.
Mhm.
Even when Buzz got stranded and he jumped out of his spaceship and those like vines and the animals, local like native wildlife, and that started attacking, that was very Star Wars
Yes,
vibes.
yes, that was definitely
When
an homage to
Luke
Star
like,
Wars and Disney.
yeah, it definitely was. Hey, and there was a couple of others here and there. I'm like, oh, that's like out of that movie, and that's like out of that, like, you know, like a Scary Movie did it, like
Yep.
how they just took parts out of other movies. It's like there's a lot of parts like that in this, which was cool.
Very much,
like, I didn't
very
mind
much
that.
like the other movie we watched, but we'll get to that later.
Yes.
But yeah, like I really enjoyed the movie, but yeah, there were a few things where I was like, that doesn't fit if you're framing this as a '90s movie.
And
I was impressed by Chris Evans as Buzz Lightyear, though.
See, I only realized at the end of the movie it was Chris Evans, and I knew that prior. Yeah, I was like, is this Mel Gibson? Was Mel Gibson the original Buzz?
No, Tim Allen.
Tim Allen was Buzz.
Yep.
Who was Woody?
Woody
wasn't Tim Allen Woody? Or Tom Hanks Woody? Tom Hanks was Woody.
Tom Hanks was Woody, I think.
Tim Allen was Buzz. That's right. Why was I thinking it was Mel Gibson? Yeah, no.
I have no idea.
Right.
Yeah, Tom Hanks is Woody. And
yeah. Why was I thinking Mel Gibson was Buzz? Was he ever a Buzz?
No, I don't think Mel Gibson's ever been in a Toy Story movie. He's not in any of these cast lists.
Yeah.
I don't know where you pulled that from.
I don't know. Like the opening credits of this movie, I was like, oh, it's Mel Gibson. It definitely wasn't Mel Gibson.
But yeah, like,
I don't know what Toy Story I've been watching. Been watching the Barley knockoff CD.
Yeah. But yeah, Chris Evans was good. Like, pretty big shoes to fill in terms of voicing an iconic character that, yeah, Tim Allen is very synonymous with that character. So I thought Chris did
Do we know why
a good job
Tim
of.
Allen didn't get the gig here?
Apparently the director Chris Evans was always the person he wanted, and they pitched it to him when he came to a Disney studio tour, obviously when he was doing the Marvel movies or something.
Yeah.
They pitched it to Chris Evans and he immediately said, yeah, I'll do it, because he loves animation apparently. So
yeah.
I think because he is like an animation fan, obviously this movie is probably like a movie that he's watched thousands of, like
sure.
Toy Story, a movie he's probably watched multiple times, and I think he did a good job of embodying the character and giving it that little twist. And also, I guess using a different actor makes sense if this is
That's what
the
I was
movie
say
that
as well.
Andy watched. It's not the Buzz that Andy had. So
Yeah,
it kind of does make a bit of sense.
Point. Yeah, I think when you think about it like that, maybe it would have been a little bit strange if you did use the original, the Toy Story Woody, which was Tim Allen.
Yep.
Yeah, like maybe that was trying a bit too hard. Yeah, another thought as well. Would you have I'm not like I said, not a Buzz fan, but if you're taking your kids to see this who are obsessed with Buzz Lightyear, would they be disappointed that there's not much Buzz Lightyear, so to speak, in this?
Maybe, but I feel like kids these days aren't like,
they don't really care.
They don't have the huge nostalgia for Toy Story that we probably do. Like they're kind of, this is probably their introduction to Toy Story.
We are the Toy Story kids, aren't they? Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I've got friends who have like got infants and like they don't know anything about Toy Story.
Yeah, so this would be their Buzz, and then they will go back and watch Toy Story and be like, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah.
Like, why is this guy a bumbling fool and kind of a joker, whereas in this movie he's quite serious?
Yeah, and it was like when you mentioned nostalgia, it was cool how you just constantly the whole movie and like what was going on. I kept thinking back to like how Buzz got introduced in like Toy Story 1, how he's like landing on the bed and that, and he's like his mindset is like he actually thinks he's been sent from like a mission from outer space. Like watching Toy Story as a kid, I was like, shut up, who are you?
And he's on like he thinks he's on he thinks he's on another hostile planet, and he's afraid of all the other toys initially.
It's like Toy Story makes so much more sense. Like I want to go back and watch Toy Story now. Like just now I know where Buzz comes from. Now that's nothing. That's why we need a Woody prequel. It's got to come.
Surely, like, I imagine this movie is going to do gangbusters, and they're going to be like, right, we need to now make the movie that, or the series that Andy watched that made him want to get the Buzz toy, the Woody toy.
Maybe Quentin Tarantino can write the Woody one. He's a big fan of westerns. Maybe he can do an animation.
I don't know if that's a appropriate kids movie.
How good would that be?
My other issue with this movie was, if I was Andy watching this movie in the 90s, I don't know if I would have wanted a Buzz Lightyear toy. I think I would have wanted a socks.
The socks, the cat for sure.
The cat was awesome.
Yeah,
shoots bloody tranquilizer darts out of his mouth. Like, yes,
now,
please.
Let's just brush over that quickly. If this is a big movie in time, let's just say it's big enough to have toys on the shelf at Kmart and action figures. Why was Buzz the only one? Like you said, Buzz is like, yeah, he's a sort of a main character, but he wasn't the like big dog in this movie. Essentially, was he? Like, it wasn't Buzz Lightyear; it was just Lightyear.
Yeah, look, I think he was a cool enough character, and then once you add in the legitimate, like the suit that he has in Toy Story with the little rocket launcher thing on the wrist and
so what I'm saying is,
and stuff like that's cool.
Why was Buzz Lightyear the only toy that ended up in Toy Story from this movie then? Like what? Yeah, like you said, why isn't Socks the robotic cat? Why isn't he in Toy Story?
I would have loved to have seen a Socks. Socks is awesome.
Socks is mad, man. Or like
he's so funny as well.
What do they call them? They just called them robots. Like they're like a pretty cool. That would be a cool figurine to have in Toy Story.
Yeah,
those
little cool
laser eyes.
Yeah, laser eyes. Shoots little cool darts out of his mouth. Has little flames come out of his mouth. He's a great character.
Even who is it? It's like who is his fellow ranger and had the granddaughter who did the mission? What was her name?
Yep. So there was Alicia Hawthorne was the ranger that he crash landed on the planet with, and then as he starts to attempt to hit hyperspace and gets the time dilation so that he's staying the same age, whereas everyone is growing older rapidly. He then has a granddaughter, Izzy Hawthorne, and she becomes sort of Buzz's new sidekick.
Yeah, I think that little that time travel implementation, like how Buzz goes on like a 4-minute flight, and back home it's like 8 years. I think that one would fry a little kid's brain trying to get his head around the storyline. Like, yeah, what's going on here?
I guess that's kind of why they just
it got me thinking a bit as well.
I guess that's why they kind of just
I don't know if this is
brush
this a
over
kids
it
movie?
real quick.
Oh, we need to decide right now if this is a kids movie or not. I don't think it is. Like you said,
I think it's a movie targeted at people our age, and it just so happens to be animated and fits with kids. Like, kids will watch it and get enough out of it, but they just won't get all the. They won't pick up on what time dilation means. They probably won't pick up on the same-sex marriage stuff. They'll just be like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And they won't get all the Easter eggs like Top Gun and Star Wars and what.
Which I guess is a classic Pixar.
They'll enjoy it, but they won't appreciate it.
Like, that's classic Pixar though, where they have stuff in there that the adults are going to pick up on, and then they just have a standard base movie that kids are going to enjoy.
So everyone can enjoy it, yeah. But all in all, they did a good job of it. They did it justice. They didn't try it as far as like make like a money maker and just like overdo it. Like it was like I said, it was very. I loved how they did it as a prequel and how they introduced it into the Toy Story world.
I think that's why I can forgive them not having Woody and any of the other Toy Story characters in there, because
that would have been too much.
If they did, it would have felt like they were just trying to cash in.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't. That was good. And like I like the lack of the original Buzz Lightyear suit. But
until the very end. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. Like they didn't just try.
I love that they had
they made it its own movie.
Every time he went out on a flight, he got like a slightly different suit, and it was like
I noticed that
all slowly building towards him getting the traditional Buzz suit, which was cool.
Yeah. No, yeah. I know Disneyland would probably cash in on this though. I would love to see like a big new like Lightyear rides or see what they're doing, like how they're doing it.
Oh, they're 100% doing a Tower of Terror-esque ride that is just the Buzz hyperspace.
Oh yes, how good would that be? Well, yeah, like a virtual reality like simulator thing. That'd be sick.
Oh, like just like
I'll have to go to Disneyland to find out.
You know how like the Tower of Terror used to just like shoot out and then go up the pole? That's exactly how his plane took off.
Yeah.
So I was like, they're definitely doing that. They're just revamping it and chucking on some Buzz Lightyear branding.
Yeah, or maybe COVID was a bit tough for Disneyland and they just needed a new section at the park. So it's just
they did just open the Star Wars land.
Yeah,
which looks incredible.
I went.
Oh, you went?
Yeah, I've been there. It's incredible.
Jealous.
Even for like a non-Star Wars fan.
Yeah, look pretty sick.
I could appreciate it.
Like we mentioned, Buzz gets a whole new like cast of sidekicks. What did you think of Taika Waititi's character Mo Morrison, Dale Souls as Darby Steele? I really like those characters. They were fun.
That's what I meant. I was gonna mention. Like, why didn't these dudes get a run in Toy Story?
Yeah, like they're the sort of characters you have to have if you buy the action figures.
Yeah, exactly. So, so they've obviously made it up like later on just for this movie. So we can't.
Taika's always just super funny in his roles, and
I didn't know it was him until the end. I was like, who is this Australian guy? Because you know how when like an American movie, then you hear like one
Australian voice, and you're like, who is this?
Yeah, like Australian or Kiwi, like they just sound the same, or even South African, they all just sound the same in like an American setting.
Yep.
Even though he's like Kiwi, he definitely sounded Australian. But yeah, cool. Yeah. Now I wish I knew it was him at the start. That would have made me enjoy that character heaps more. Instead, the whole time, every time this guy spoke, I was like, "Who is that?
Who is that?" Yeah, I just love that he was like so excited about having a pen.
Oh yeah, that was so funny.
Oh, I got a pen.
Yeah, no, that was good. Yeah, there's definitely some few lols throughout the cinema.
And then it paid off at the end as well. But yeah, they were cool little side characters that were just like
not even
there for the humor. The other thing I sort of found out preparing for this episode is this is the first ever Pixar movie to be released in IMAX, which I think would be cool in IMAX, like seeing especially those space flights in the big giant screen. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, it would be actually.
Probably unnecessary, but a good one to see.
Yeah, this was a good movie to watch at the cinema too, though.
Yeah, and it's the first Pixar movie since Onward in 2020 to actually go to the cinemas. They've released 3 movies since then.
Really?
That all just went straight to Disney Plus. Soul, Luca, and Turning Red all went direct to Disney Plus.
Oh yeah, this is different. This is different ball game to those though.
Yeah, apparently I really enjoyed Soul. I liked Luca, and Turning Red is apparently incredible. I haven't watched it yet, but yeah, I think just the name recognition of Buzz Lightyear, it had to go to the cinemas. They're going to make a absolute mint.
Yeah, I think it's going to do very well. It's going to be popular.
Especially, come school holiday.
Is it school holidays? I don't know. Like, I swear it's always school holidays these days. But
I legitimately had this conversation last week. I was like, school holidays are like out now, aren't they? And my mate was like,
isn't it always school? I don't know.
I just looked at him, no. Mm-hmm.
Like, it was school holidays for like 8 months straight. So that's why I'm just like...
Literally, the only way I know that it's not school holidays is when I drive past a school at...
Yeah, I'm the same.
At school time and the light flashes at me. I'm like, oh, guess there's kids around.
Yeah. No, it's pretty well.
Yeah. Really enjoyable. Definitely worth heading to the cinema and checking out, especially if you're a Toy Story fan.
As a non-Buzz fan, I wouldn't even say I wasn't a Buzz fan. I really didn't like Buzz in Toy Story. I don't know. It was just very vanilla and just very not funny. I was just love Woody so much, and it was just this rivalry, even though they're like mates. I don't know. Maybe because
they were mates at the end.
The first Toy Story, they're always like they'll a bit of at each other. But yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely worth checking out.
Did it justice. Didn't overdo it.
Although if you don't want to head to the cinemas, there's another really good Disney movie out at the moment, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, which is a weird like hybrid. It's animated and live action at the same time, action adventure comedy based on the TV series, animated TV show of the same name. What did you think of this one? I loved this one. It was so fun.
Yeah, I loved it too. I never knew I needed this movie in my life, and I'm so glad I watched it. But I knew not. Disclaimer: I never even knew about this Chip and Dale cartoon. Like, it's very old, I think, isn't it? Like, very like early Walt Disney.
It's like an 80s cartoon, I'm pretty sure. 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, but it got created way before that, I think. Like, but yeah,
I remember watching it, like seeing it growing up, but never being being a huge fan where I watched every single episode. Like if it was on randomly on a Saturday morning, I'd watch an episode here or there.
Yeah, I just couldn't think of it. But yeah, it was like you said, it was random that it's come back now. Do you know why?
I think it's just Disney having a streaming service now and thinking, we need content. We can't just rely on putting all the old stuff up and hope people are going to rewatch it. So let's use the characters and the properties that we have and revamp them and refresh them and put them up on the streaming service. And I'm glad they did because this movie is so fun.
Yeah, it was very entertaining. That's for sure. I was loving it. I was like watching on my own, like laughing out, a bit of a knee slapper. I was like, this is sick. And had like feel good storylines, like heartwarming ending. I was like, this is really something. And for someone who knew nothing about the like original show, I'm sure if someone is a fan of Chip and Dale, that would absolutely be frothing over this.
Yeah, like, and especially because they don't like immediately throw all the characters from the cartoon at you. Like they hold the female rescue ranger till the very end, and it's really just Chip and Dale, and
I'm sort
then
of
they slowly filter in the others.
Could appreciate it on a Chip and Dale fan level. It would have been amazing, I reckon.
Oh yeah,
like would have been just joyous.
Yeah, just as like a regular movie watcher though, like it's just a fun movie. Brilliant. It's got great like commentary on the film industry as a whole and TV industry as a whole.
Yeah, for real.
It like is really self-deprecating. Like they make fun of themselves.
Yeah.
And I love that it's like set in modern LA with the which one is it? Chip is in the modern photorealistic animation style because he's
CGI.
had CGI surgery, essentially just like a plastic surgery upgrade, whereas Chip is in the traditional cell shaded style of the TV show.
And really cool. It so well, like it was edited so well.
Yeah, like the way that they've incorporated all the different animation styles and show styles
like real life
with live action, so well done. Like, crazy the amount of work that's gone into it. And I think they cast two like perfect actors for the roles of Chip and Dale as well.
Samberg was one of them. Who was the other?
Andy Samberg was Dale, and the comedian John Mulaney was Chip. And
yes.
Just the comedic timing between those two was really good.
Yep.
Will Arnett as Sweet Pete, basically the old fat Peter Pan. That was a really great character.
How good was it? Yeah, I didn't know it was him until last night. I just had a quick look at the cast, and I was like, that guy plays the most perfect character every time. Like he just is like a villain on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, when I seen that, I was like, yes, that's perfect. That's definitely him.
They
did that one well.
Old fat Peter Pan that is annoyed at the world because he got old and lost his thing and just bootlegs characters. I can't go past Ugly Sonic just because of how like ridiculous that character is.
That was brilliant. Which one? Oh, the snake. And where they like Chip like serenade the snake. I reckon that was brilliant.
Yep. Who else was there? Seth Rogen as Bob, the like Viking dwarf, like based off the
Oh,
Polar Express and Beowulf characters.
that was
They're
so
funny.
weird. It's like you know, like a I don't know, like a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 on the original PlayStation. Just that very pixelated, like the very basic, or like Pro Evolution Soccer 1998. Just like the most basic like face, like, and that was I was like, that's so
And just
funny.
like
And I
the
was like,
dead eyes that just stare off into
yeah.
nowhere.
So I didn't know that was Seth Rogen. I was like, oh my god, that's Seth Rogen. Like when I realized, I was like, oh, this is so good.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah,
Keegan
that was
Michael Key
enjoyable.
as the cheesemonger. That was really funny as well. Like
Yeah,
just the dude that's dealing cheese.
yeah, it was so good. But like when you all these characters, I think I mentioned it. It's like the new Space Jam with all, like the Warner Brothers world, like Easter eggs and all that.
Yeah, oh yeah, the way they incorporate all the different properties and characters was so well done. But
There's the candle
unlike
from
unlike Space Jam, this had a good story to go with it. It wasn't just how do we cram in all of these characters? Like there was a reason
is
for
it
them to
Beauty
all
and the
be there.
Beast? Beauty and the Beast, is it that candle thing?
Yeah, the candlestick, candelabra thing.
Candlestick? Yeah,
Yep.
like you said, you mentioned Sonic. There was
Flounder from The Little Mermaid.
what was that polar bear?
So basically, the polar bear is inspired by the polar bear from the Coke ads.
That it is, eh? That's what I thought. I was thinking
Yep.
some like the icy, you know.
Yeah, it's not a
the
character
same?
from like a cartoon or something. It's just a polar bear that's based off the Coca-Cola ads, which was
Oh,
I thought
that's
was
right. Eric
hilarious.
Bana plays Monterey Jack as well.
Yep, another Aussie voice that just pops out.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
really cool.
I had a look at the cameos that pop up in the movie. So Flounder from The Little Mermaid, the fish from Little Mermaid,
Ugly Sonic, I can't believe.
Ugly Sonic, E.T. is in the background there. Bootleg
I
butt,
missed that.
a bootleg Bart Simpson, because they're like
Oh, yeah.
bootlegging cartoons.
Yeah, they've had that Simpsons scene playing in the studio.
Yep, Darkwing
Some
Duck,
opening credits.
Winnie the Pooh and Tigger are in there, like the bootlegged
Yeah,
Winnie
what
the
did
Pooh
they-
and Tigger.
What did they call that show?
Oh, what was
They
that
had all
called?
these funny names for the bootleg shows.
Yep, I can't remember what it was called. We had Baloo from the Jungle Book. Batman's in there. He-Man and Skeletor. Roger Rabbit. Scrooge McDuck. Random cameos by Paula Abdul and Paul Rudd as themselves.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
They were funny. The Three Little Pigs. The Magic Carpet from Aladdin. The like Ralph from like Wreck-It Ralph. The main character from that movie. The Cats from the Cats movie.
Oh, how funny was that?
They were so
that made
ridiculous.
me laugh. That did, yeah. Their little how they got into it.
It made me remember watching that horrible, horrible movie. But apart from
What
that,
a
it was funny.
disastrous idea that movie was.
Have you watched that movie?
No,
Yeah, don't. It's terrible.
no.
It's so
I
bad.
remember watching the trailer when it was first got released. I was like, "This looks horrendous," and that
Yep.
was cameoed to the eyeballs, wasn't it?
Oh yeah,
They're like
that was
Jason,
bad.
wasn't like Jason Derulo one of the main characters?
Yep, and Taylor Swift.
Although, what Jason Derulo? What are you doing?
In this one, we also get the Transformers. Like there's characters from Transformers. A bunch of My Little Pony.
Yeah.
Randy Marsh from South Park, which was a very unexpected one. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Big Mouth, characters from Big Mouth. They're very obvious in this one. In the background of one of the scenes, there's a big billboard that has Butthead from Beavis and Butthead running for the Senate,
Didn't notice
which
that.
made me laugh. We see Ren and Stimpy in one of the bootleg scenes as well.
Yeah.
And then,
you
like-
said, Peter Pan.
Yeah, Peter Pan. And then when they're at the conventions,
Yeah.
there's so many people in the background in
Yeah, I
cosplay
noticed.
of other characters. Like I was just
Indiana
in those scenes, I was
Jones.
literally just watching people in the background be like, "What are
Yeah,
these characters? These are
There
all
was a
cool."
lot. Yeah, there was a lot to. I was the same every time they were at that like Comic Con, my eyes are just wandering like, oh, who's that? Who's
Yeah,
that?
I wasn't paying attention to what was happening with the main characters. I was just looking in the background to see what properties they managed to either get approval for or just make like really crappy cosplays that you could work out what it was without it being obvious.
Yeah, thinking back now, ugly Sonic is classic.
It was so good that they like got Ugly Sonic, and apparently they had a deal with Paramount who made that movie and got the actual model. So like they were sent the files and the model for the Ugly Sonic that they originally put out, which was cool. Yeah. And then when they're walking down the Walk of Fame, they show stars for Squidward, Yogi, Samurai Jack, and Chun-Li from Street Fighter. So like there's just ridiculous amounts of cameos that all
Easter eggs everywhere.
Felt like they worked because of the storyline that they put in with Sweet Pete basically bootlegging all these major properties to make
so that
cheap
sort of gave
movies and make money.
Movie a license to pretty much throw anything in there because it's not going to be accurate because they're bootlegging and they're going to make it like sort of a bit funny and a bit like enjoyable.
Yeah, like The Simpsons. The Simpsons one was.
The Simpsons ones was classic.
It just looked so ridiculous, but it looked ridiculous enough where it was kind of like the old Simpsons, like the early years where they just looked weird.
And isn't there, or it's like The Simpsons when you watch Family Guy, like.
Yep.
You know how they're just a bit different.
Yeah.
And like Bart's got he's a bit extra spiky here and there, and he's like, it's like if I would to try to draw Bart in Year 4 or something.
Yep. And yeah, like the shirt and shorts are just like slightly off color, and yeah. I really enjoyed it. Like, I enjoyed the story for what it was, but yeah, just watching for the cameos makes it so much more fun as well.
It's brilliant.
And like this seems to be doing quite well, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get another version of this down the line because according to Variety, this was number 10 in the most watched movies on streaming platforms in the week of release, May 26th to June 1st. So
yeah, but every time I open Disney Plus to watch The Great Kardashians, it's always Chip N Dale's not the main thing on the homepage.
Yeah, they do a great job on Disney Plus of like pushing.
Hey, Disney Plus is good now, eh?
Now that Star offerings in there with things like the Kardashians and shows like that, I love Disney Plus. It's such good value.
There's heaps you can watch on Disney. It's brilliant.
There's always new movies. They're pumping out tons of Star Wars, Marvel content.
Oh,
all of the movies that are coming out.
Tip of the iceberg at the moment, hey.
All the movies that are coming out in cinemas are now like trickling onto Disney Plus quite quickly. Like I believe Doctor Strange is out in the next like week, and that I literally saw that right before I left to go to the States. So that's come around quickly.
Yeah, they won't muck around by putting Buzz on here either, and that'd probably happen pretty quickly, pretty swiftly.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, late July, probably get that one. And then, did you watch the scene in the closing credits as well?
Of
Chip N Dale?
Chip N Dale. I can't remember.
Yeah, so like Disney and Marvel and everything kind of have made common, there was a post-credit scene, and it's basically all the rescue rangers going to one of those conventions doing like a reunion panel thing, and they're from across the hall, they're basically heckled by Darkwing Duck, and apparently that's to tease. Disney have said they're working on a Darkwing Duck reboot. So
really?
I assume that was them kind of laying the foundations for a Darkwing Duck to get his own show or similar movie in like a similar vein in the future. Which I look forward to. I really like Darkwing Duck, so I'm going to be keen for that one.
I'll rarely stick around after the credits start rolling. I need something to lack.
I have made it a massive habit of mine now watching anything on Disney Plus because their credits are quite long. Like they have the actual movie credits, and then they have like the big credits where they like here's all the different people that translated this into 8 different languages. So now, every time a movie finishes on Disney Plus, I always fast forward and just scrub all the way through. And because as it's scrubbing through, it has the little box that like shows you what it's going through. And anytime it like does that, if there's a scene pop up, I'm like, oh, okay, pause, rewind a little bit, watch that scene. So I always catch these post-credit scenes.
Is it worth mentioning to the punters that there's 3 tiny post-credit scenes in Lightyear? If you want to beat the crowd or want to wait for the crowds to leave the cinema.
There are 3 post-credit scenes in that movie, none of which are like desperately needed to watch. Yeah, they are. Maybe just wait the month for it to hit
flash ups.
Yeah, wait the month for it to hit Disney Plus and just watch them on there.
At least it doesn't matter. We beat the crowd. We were the last ones out of the cinema and we just walked straight out. So may as well just wait.
I was a little bit disappointed that one of those post credits wasn't a Woody teaser though.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to put 3 post credit scenes in, the last one should have been a Woody teaser. But
that's the way you would have brought Woody into it for sure.
I guess if they haven't locked that in and confirmed that that's the case, they can't put that credit in.
Yeah, probably trying to chase Tom Hanks for that one. I think he's a bit busy at the moment. He's got his finger in many a pie right now.
Yes.
Good to see. Cue Elvis.
In terms of the 2 movies we checked out this week, which one would be your top recommendation?
Man, it's a tough one, eh? Tough week for recommendation, but it's got to be Chip N Dale, man.
Yes, I'm glad you said that. I'm exactly the same. Like, I really enjoyed Lightyear, but Chip N Dale exceeded every expectation.
Yeah, people know Lightyear's going to be good. They know what it's about, but you can just recommend a very, very randomly fun movie on your phone. You guys watch on your phone right now if you want. You don't have to go to the movies. It's easy.
Yeah,
fire up Disney Plus and watch it. And you'll love it.
Tons of people have Disney Plus now, so yeah, highly recommend.
It's a movie I never knew I needed to watch. Yeah, I've been recommending it to people anyway. Once
you get through all the random Marvel shows and Star Wars shows that are on at the moment, chuck Chip N Dale on the weekend and just have a great time. No matter how old you are.
Kardashians season 1's finished. Watch Chip N Dale.
You're terrible. Alrighty. Thank you everyone for listening to the commentary booth. If you enjoyed the show, please remember to rate, review, and subscribe on podcast services and on YouTube. You can follow Blake on Twitter at Captain Crumbs with a Z, and you can follow me on social media at Jamie Ups Media and at Pario Magazine. The Commentary Booth is a fan-funded production of Jamie Apps Media. You can support the podcast alongside our magazine, Pario Magazine, on Patreon at patreon.com/Jamie Apps Media. The following people supported at the community support group level or higher, and you cannot fathom how incredibly appreciative we are for their support. Brian and June Hart, Blake Robinson, Rena Renee, Courtney Paulson, Darren Hatcliffe, Jackson Carr, and Tracy Apps.